Welcome to another episode of the Career Breakthrough Series. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe, rate and review my show to allow me to bring more incredible guests like Daniel on my show and to be able to help you guys push through those barriers in your career and in your life. Winning a world championship is an incredible feat in itself, and my guest today, Daniel Dawson, has won world championships in 3 different fight disciplines. He's won it in boxing, Muay Thai and kickboxing. Daniel began his martial arts journey at the age of 13, where he started training Tae Kwon Do with master coach Mr. Sok Pong Kim in Perth, Australia. At the age of 15, Daniel travelled past Pond's Thai boxing gym in Northbridge and saw 4 current Lumpini world champions training through the open roller door, and from there he was hooked. Daniel soon began training, and then 10 years later, he has represented Australia all over the world as a professional and has won 3 world titles in kickboxing, 4 world titles in Muay Thai boxing, and is the youngest world champion in kickboxing and Muay Thai at only the age of 21, which is a testament to Daniel's incredible work ethic and his passion for what he does. In 2003, Daniel switched arts to the science of boxing. The reason he did this was to improve his hands for kickboxing and to discover new talents in a new endeavour and a new sport, and thus new challenges. And in only 10 months, Daniel won 10 fights for 10 wins. And 11 years in with his boxing career, he has been crowned 2-time state champion, 4-time Australian champion, 15 times Oceania champion, and he's currently ranked in the top 15 in the world by the WBA, IBF and WBO, while also winning the WBF world title in 2013. This interview is incredible because Daniel's been such a big mentor of mine. I used to love watching him on Fox Sports 2 and watching train in Muay Thai and some of the fights he had, which started my own Muay Thai journey. Daniel shares some of the powerful insights he's gained from this long in fighting and some of the takeaways and challenges he's faced in his career as well. I can't wait to share this interview with you guys, so let's get started. Guys, welcome to another episode of the Career Breakthrough Series. I'm your host, Paul Ames. Trying to get a world title in itself is a mammoth task in itself. Now, our guest today has got 3 world titles in 3 separate fight disciplines. He's got titles in Muay Thai, boxing, and kickboxing. He's been an inspiration to me and actually what started me on my journey of Muay Thai in general. I remember back in 2000 when I started watching Fox Sports 2, watching Daniel fight, and some of the really tough fighters and absolute wars you went to war with, like John Wayne Parr, Bruce, the Preacher McPhee, Warren Elson, Prince Amir, and the list goes on, like the toughest guys on the planet, you fought them. So, Daniel, it's an absolute honour to have you on the show, mate. I really am looking forward to sharing your journey and your message and helping my audience with some stuff that might be able to help them break through some areas of their life.
Man, definitely. Pleasure to be on the show, Paul, and thanks for having me again.
Perfect. Well, Daniel, I'd just love you to start off by just giving my audience a bit of a background into basically what your upbringing was like for you and what actually sparked your journey into martial arts.
Man, upbringing, I guess I had a bit, from the age of 2, it was just my mum and myself. Mum and dad split up, so I was single parent there for a while. And from 2 till about 10 or 11, I think it was 10, 2 till 10, with just mum and I. We travelled around quite a lot. She was working in different jobs and went to all the different schools and sort of learned from a young age to integrate with people really well wherever I went. So really good communication skills and also at the same time sort of learn to you have to sort of stand up for yourself because you're in a new area all the time, a new school, and you this, you sort of always, you go to a new school, you're sort of proving yourself, having to fit in again, having to feet, so to speak, and work out what groups you fit into, and from an early age, I sort of learnt that you have to sort of stand up for yourself, have your own back. Some of you at a new school, you're by yourself. Everyone else has got their friends, they've got this going on. You have to learn quickly to get people to get a good group to be friends with, or learn very quickly to stand up for yourself and show people you're not to be sort of messed with. So that was something I learned at a really early age, which is crazy to think that. From that, I don't know if it was that experience of moving around so much and that sort of thing I had to build up inside of me. But I just fell in love with martial arts and watching movies. Bruce Lee, he was a huge Bruce Lee fan. I remember everyone's like watching all the cartoons, this and that, the Cartoon Networks and stuff, and I'd be sitting at home watching Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee movies, all the really old, the old Chinese Jackie Chans. And my friends would come over like, yeah, let's watch Fist of Fury. And they're like, what's Fist of Fury? They're like, we're gonna watch it. You watch it, and then they're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. So that was like my childhood from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That was sort of me growing up, and I spent just all my time on martial arts movies. All the old Wrong Bet, No Retreat, No Surrender, all these old movies. That was sort of me sold. So I think that sort of getting that sort of upbringing through that era in the movies, the fight movies, fell in love with the martial arts, with the movement of it all. It wasn't so much one martial art. I think it was just all of it. The movement of martial arts in general, I just fell in love with.
Definitely, man. I can completely relate. It sounds like, I feel like so similar to your journey as well. Like starting off, like I never got into any team sports or that. I started martial arts at 12 and did karate. Like the first thing started off Shotokan karate and then led into Muay Thai and just went on from there. But yeah, same thing. Like I just love watching martial arts movies and all of the old classics. So it's awesome, man.
It's funny how these guys. No, it's funny how these guys. And it's awesome. There would be a few of us around that'd be similar like this. That these, the guys like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, even Van Damme, that actually really inspired us with how good they were at their art. And I know it's on film and it's all scripted and it's a movie, but at the end of the day, these guys can actually move gracefully, really eloquently. It was awesome to watch growing up, seeing these guys move like that. So I think it was 13. I started Tae Kwon Do in Perth with the late Mr. Sok Pong Kim, who was very successful Tae Kwon Do schools, and I started that at 13 till pretty much 15, and climbed up the ranks really quickly. And I fought in the open in the juniors at the start, and then fought at the open division as well for WA, and won a state championship in Taekwondo at the age of 15, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, that's cool. And obviously that led on to, trying the different martial arts and Muay Thai and boxing. Yeah,
man, the Muay Thai journey was cool. Like I was walking through Northbridge, and I happened to walk past Pond's gym in Northbridge, and it just so happened at that time it was 93, 93, not 92, 93, and he was doing a huge show. It was the biggest show he'd done. He was one of the leaders to bring Muay Thai to Perth. He was one of the godfathers, so to speak, of Muay Thai in Perth. And he was a huge promotion at Burswood, at the Burswood Casino. And he brought over, I think it was 8 current Lumpini, like Thai world champions from Lumpini, like the best stadium. At that time in 93, Lumpini Stadium was just the mecca of Muay Thai in the world. And I think, Australians, Europeans, all sorts, we're all Americans, all trying to get into that Muay Thai culture at that stage in the 90s. And he brought out like 8 of the best fighters like on the planet pretty much to fight on this one show.
Wow.
And I walked past the gym, and those 8 guys were all in there training, hitting the bags, doing pads together. Like, it's just nuts. It was like a Bruce Lee movie, like a Kung Fu movie. I looked in, the roller doors open as I walked past, and I looked in, I was like, what the hell is this? So I walked in, I was just sat there watching in awe, like, these guys doing pads, and then they're doing sparring and how they're moving. And I was like, I chatted upon that day. I said, when can I come train? This is really cool. And he's got the classes tomorrow. I went the next day for the classes, and I signed up. Mum took me that next day to the classes, and I signed up, and then I was there every single day from then on. That was it. That was the very start of Muay Thai for me.
Wow, what an inspiration to start off with, seeing some of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world training at the gym you're going into as well. That's awesome, man.
Very lucky, very fortunate.
Definitely. So Daniel, I'd love to touch on obviously the transition you went from having like Muay Thai and first off Muay Thai as your hobby or a sport that you're doing, into transitioning into becoming an amateur and a pro. How hard did you find the transition of taking that leap?
The transition was a big thing, because it was like sort of going into the unknown and also the unguaranteed, So at 15, I was working full time, and then I would go to training in the evening, and that was 15 to sort of 16. Oh, sorry, I was at school 15. I was at school full time, then going to training in the evenings. At 16, I left school. I wanted to train more, so I started working part time, and I was training twice a day, as I just wanted to succeed. I just wanted to get better at what I was doing. I was winning. I was winning local fights, and I was winning state titles, and I thought, I'm actually getting quite good at this, and I really have a passion for it. It's like I should do I've been watching all these years on the martial arts movies. Now I get to do it. I was like, okay, this is cool. I really want to pursue this. But pursuing that, and then, okay, to make a career of it, you have to make money out of it. So it stalled a little while where I was working quite a lot and working wherever I could to get enough money to survive, and then training wherever I could to be good enough to compete at a high level, where it went from sort of state title level then to national level. And I think I was 17, 18. I was like, okay, I was starting to get good opportunities now. I was starting to get opportunities to fight over East against top fighters. Melbourne was sort of a home of kick at that time. Queensland as well was another big Muay Thai scene at the early 90s and then mid 90s. And that, Queensland as well produced some of the greatest fighters in the Muay Thai. And Melbourne's, Stan the Man, Sam Greco, these guys have fought in Japan at the K1. So they're legends. They're actually legends overseas. Our Australian boxers are overseas. So knowing that there was these opportunities to fight, I was like, okay, I'm really going to focus on this full time. Cut the work right back to just part time. And I was actually helping Pon at the time in the markets on the weekends. I was babysitting here and there. I was just doing everything I could to get some money that gave me enough time to train twice a day really hard. And that was, if you're committing to going full time as a fighter, like you need to commit your time, and it ends up being a lifestyle, not so much a hobby. You're doing 2 hours a day, you still do a hobby 2 hours a day and quite intensely. But lifestyle being that, you're training 4 to 5 hours a day, you're resting in between, you're doing the right things, you're getting treatment when you need to, your eating changes, it becomes a lot cleaner, a lot healthier, and your whole life focuses on pretty much each competition that coming up. So that was the transition through 15 to 17, 18 for me. That was the transition from study, going and finishing school, and I actually went back and finished school as well, was intending maybe to go to university and do Muay Thai. So I went back to high school, finished, and I wanted to go to university, and I was like, could I do both? And I was looking at the level I was at, and the guys that was going to, like John Wayne Parr was one of them, similar age to me, and he was over east. There was another guy, Jenk Behick, that was over east doing it. Yep. So these guys are around my age, and I can see what they're training full time. They're not even at school. They're not studying. So I made the choice at that time, okay, if I'm really going to pursue this and become, world champion, which was my goal, and be one of the best, I had to commit the time and make the Muay Thai a lifestyle. That was a life. That was life. No longer a hobby. That was the changeover. That was sort of the mindset for me in the changeover.
Perfect. Thanks so much for giving us the insight, Daniel. And my hat goes off to you, mate. You should be really proud of yourself for what you've achieved and putting in that effort. Like, I think a lot of people would reach the tough points in life and kind of give up or not pursue a dream or pursue their goals further to achieve it. So congrats, man.
Yeah, and honestly, it definitely and maybe not for everyone, but it definitely didn't come straight away. Like, it was. I made that commitment, and then I was traveling and fighting and sort of living off fight money and just part-time work here and there. You just sort of, when you have a goal, you'll do whatever you can do to make it happen, So
definitely.
If you have a goal that you're really passionate about, something that resonates with you that you need to have, then I think you'll do whatever you can to get it. Like the first, I remember I never fought in Melbourne on Foxtel, and it was my first fight on Fox, and I fought an ex-world champion, and in that fight went back to the drawing board, and I know so many other fighters in this position where you go, you've been doing really well, you've had a record where you've only lost one of your early fights, and you're an Australian champion, you've had 16 wins, 17 wins, and then you go up against the world champion, and you might not win that fight. Now I just only feel, okay, does that mean, okay, I can't get to that level? I tried, I did my best, I've trained really hard. Or do you go back? And I went back and I went, okay, why did I fight? I asked coach, asked my friends, asked the other guys in the gym, the guys I'm sparring with. I said, I spar with you guys. I beat you some days, you beat me. I had Oliver Olsen and I had Olsen.
Nice.
They were all in the gym at that time. We were training partners back then. Like, why did I lose that? I didn't have enough work rate. I didn't kick enough. My body wasn't strong enough. All certain things. Okay, cool. Well, it's not that I wasn't good enough or I couldn't be good enough. It was just I had to improve in certain areas to be that good. Obviously, get there and then test it again and perform under the pressure and do that. So I went back to the draw board and fixed those areas and kept going. And then I think I had an opportunity to fight Jenk Behick, who was a national champion in Melbourne. Or whatever, and fought that one, and then I lost that one as well, which was so close though. Unbelievable fight that I lost, and then the next fight I had a late call in. Oliver Olsen was supposed to fight Chris Allen, champion, and he'd just beaten John Wayne Parr on Foxtel. And this was another opportunity to fight on Foxtel. I was like, wow, okay, I'll take this opportunity. And it's someone I think I can beat. And had another very close fight with him and just lost on points. And that was 3 losses in a row. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm really pushing it. I'm fighting good guys, but maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I just haven't got what it takes to be the champ, against these top guys. And then I was back to the like, nah, I know I can be better. I know I can be better. I've just got to find out what I need to do. So I kept hardening the body, getting harder, doing extra training. Like the gym would finish at 7:38, the class would finish, and everyone would go home, and I'd be there kicking the bag still. And I'd put some inspirational music on, and I'd put stuff on, listen to it, and I'd just training and listen to that music, thinking, I'm going to be world champion. I'm going to be world champion. I've just got to keep at it. I've got to keep at it. The next fight, so that was 3 losses in a row at a higher level, at a national. And the next fight was, I got off to fight Prince Amir for the world title in '99. And that was off 3 losses. And they were obviously thinking, okay, this guy's lost his last 3, but he went the distance. He's probably good, but he's probably a good defense for Amir. So Amir can have a sort of an easy win and get himself another title. And we sort of knew that they thought they were going to beat me in the end. I thought, okay, this is it. This is my opportunity to really shake the world up a little bit and win a world title here. And in that fight, I sort of, everything that I'm doing, I think all the affirmations are with my, in training. I did some in the mirror as well, telling myself I was going to be a world champion. I'd tell, I'd speak to the bag. I'd be doing bag work, and I'd be speaking to the bag saying, this is you, Prince Amir. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to be the world champion. I'd be hitting it. That's right. I'm beating you. Look, I'm beating you. And I'd be talking, and it might be crazy, but to me, it made me feel like I was actually getting close to doing it, So
definitely.
And there's a lot, obviously athletes affirmations is a huge thing maybe in every line of work, in all business as well.
Exactly.
And that bringing a lot of belief in yourself, that continual self-influence, influence self. So, and the rest is history. I won that. Prince Amir was the heavy underdog and took that fight out, and it just took off from there. Like, it was unbelievable. The next 2-3 years after Prince Amir I think I fought maybe 7-8 times a year on Foxtel. Wow. 3 or 4 times a year that year, fighting in Japan, fighting in China, fighting in Thailand. Won 7 world titles, I think, in 3 years. Like, man, 7 world titles in 3 years. Yeah. So it was incredible experience, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't imagine even it's funny how you've, gone through the lows and then get this break and then go through these massive highs. And I think it's a testament to your mindset too. Like, I think that's a massive thing I work with my clients on, is on mindset. And, like you said, being able to create that. So I'd love to, if you could just run us through a bit on your lead up to these fights, Daniel. So, what helped you get in that peak level of performance, that peak state? What were some of the tools and techniques you used to help get you in that mindset?
Well, I tell you, and I can't speak for all fighters, but I know a lot of us get nervous and scared before fights, because you're going into to compete and punch and kick another person, and they're going to do it to you to try to knock you out, and you're going to do it to them. So it's quite I'm not really a violent, I'm not really an aggressive person by nature. It doesn't come naturally. I'm very proud by nature. Like, I'll stand up for myself at any given time. I'm very proud to stand up for my name and who I am. But at the same time, I'm not a very, very unaggressive person. I'm very, very, very easy going. So for me, it scared the shit out of me every single fight. Like, and I had 108 fights so far in total, and from the first to the last, it still scares the shit out of me every single time. But what it is, understanding what I'm gaining out of each fight. That was a big thing for me. Like, it wasn't, and it had to be something I needed. It could be something I wanted. Like, you want to win, you want to make a lot of money, you want to drive a nice car. Every person out there wants a lot of things. Everyone wants, but it's very different when you need to have it. Like, when you set it with your values of who you are, and you say, for me to be who I am, I need to have that. And that's very different than something to yourself that you're willing to go through pain, you're willing to go through suffering and sacrifice to get what you want. and the highs as well. You get the goods that come with all those lows, but you've got to be willing to go through all of it.
Definitely.
To get your reward there. And that could be fighting, that could be anything. You've got to go through, you've got to go through being overworked, you've got to go through being sick, through being heckled, through being not you get the haters as well, the people that don't get to succeed. You've got to be able to rise above that and get past that. And even yourself, like, your own self-doubt, your own self-worth as well, telling you sometimes, maybe you can't do this, or maybe we've bitten off more than we can chew. Maybe that I'm sure that self-talk happens with a lot of people, and it's just what really helped me was, again, answering that self-talk. If there was self-doubt, and they're answering with the yes, I can do this.
Yep.
I believe I can. I've proved it by showing up today at training rather than not coming. I've proven it by eating the right foods instead of giving up. I've proven it by resting when instead of going out that extra hour or two, I went home early for my friend's birthday party. Like, I've proven that I'm worth winning. I've proven that, I've made these decisions that a winner would make. So I've proven that I can win. And that was it for me, and then also seeing yourself winning before you do.
Yeah, I think visualization.
I did that earlier on. At some fights I actually stopped doing for a while, and I noticed I wasn't performing as well. Like, it's like I just expect myself to perform. And, I'm so good now. I've been doing it for 15 years at that stage, maybe 5-10 years ago. And I go, okay, cool. I'm sweet. I can just roll along, do what I got to do. And it's like Groundhog Day. I don't have to keep doing the visualizations anymore. And I noticed that my performance started lacking too.
Oh, okay.
Might have had a loss here as well, or the fights were a lot closer and just winning when I should have won by a lot. Each competition is a new competition. Like, each day is a new day. Years, and you can't go, okay, I was this person last year, so I should just expect I'll be that person next year.
Yeah, so true.
Life happens, things happen. We all change. I think we change each year as we learn and grow. We all adjust and adapt a little bit each year, and so that was the key for me. It was continuing to that positive affirmation, that positive self-talk. I continued to do that, and making the right decisions. A lot of times I made the wrong decisions and lost fights. And I think the right decisions really, really helped. When these decisions align with the value of you need to win the fight. What do I need to do to win the fight? You have decisions to make along the way in the preparation for that.
Yeah, so true. Guys, go back and have a listen to that. That's some powerful advice that Daniel's just shared, and something that will make a massive impact on your life if you choose to do it as well. So just touching on that too, Daniel, I know all of us have got a really positive trait or really positive habit that's helped us achieve success in our life. We've also got a really hindering habit that holds us back. What do you think would be, would you be your most positive habit, and what do you reckon to be your most hindering habit?
Most positive habit is, I think, see, I never actually, I've thought of a couple that I have. So maybe just that belief ever since an early age that I can do anything, and this will lead straight into my negative habits. But, which is funny, which is probably most funny. But I just had from an early age, maybe traveling and doing what I had to do and learning to fit in so many different schools, so many different people all the time. And having to represent yourself so much, otherwise you get kicked to the curb. Obviously built a bit of strength within me that I knew I could handle things. I could handle sticky situations and I could handle tough times. And then, I think that was one of the biggest things. That was one of my biggest positives, that I knew no matter how tough it was getting, no matter how hard it was getting, I can handle this. I can do this. I can get through this. That was just there's a belief that I had, a belief system that I actually built and made myself growing up, the way I did. Yeah, and that probably helped me get through a lot of harder times, darker times, and through some hard situations in fights and preparations.
Definitely. Yeah. I can imagine. That'd be a tough one. Like, as you said, you have to learn as you go. Like I can kind of relate to that. Like in high school, I was bullied a lot. And until I learned to stand up for myself and retaliate against the bullies, which eventually made them stop. But that's made me pretty much similar, the harder person that stands up for myself. So I can relate.
And it's not an easy thing to do. It wasn't an easy thing for me to do. Like I said, I'm quite a placid person, to be honest. Like, And like the thing I loved about fighting was more so the movement than the actual hitting of another person. It was more the movement and the creativity and the art. You know, that was more that I fell in love with that. So it's more, it's learning to have that self value, like that belief in self that you can. You know, that was, and that's again, it's a practice, and I think no matter how good you get at it, it's an ongoing practice. You know, like a meditation. It helps calm you, helps bring you to a good place. And I think if you can't just meditate once or twice and think, okay, I'll be very cool for the rest of my life now. I've done my meditation. I should be relaxed for the rest of my life. Like it's an ongoing practice, you know.
Definitely.
And so is self-belief and self-talk and value and self-worth. I think that's an ongoing practice for everyone too.
So true, mate. Yeah, exactly right. So just on that, how did you feel that that also being a positive habit turned into a negative habit for you?
Well, it wasn't that was the negative habit. It was just that I had, as much as I had the self-belief and the that confidence that I could get out of situations, the way I grew up as well brought a lot of lack of confidence within me. Maybe not a lot of solidarity around me. So always shifting and moving and changing brings great adaptability, but it also brings a sense of loss or non-solidarity. So I would feel it was hard for me to be confident, which was just funny to say, being a guy that's had 106 fights and won titles and world titles. But yeah, confidence wasn't natural for me. It wasn't an easy thing. So that's where that came from as well. And that a lot of the fights I would go in thinking, you know, like I would say, yes, I can do this, and I'm going to do this. And then halfway through, I would be like, oh my God, can I do, maybe I can't do this. Like that I was in constant battle with myself, you know, like all the time through the whole career, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Our internal battles are obviously the most devastating ones. Are they're the ones like the old saying goes, mate, you know, we're our own worst enemy. It rings so true.
Yeah.
Like
one of the best. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh yeah, just how people are saying, you know, if we believe we can and we have that positive growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset, makes a massive difference in your life. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, adaptability is key. It's I say to my guys now, you know, when they're training, it's adapting and overcoming. It's not, you don't have the expectation of what you need to be. Just just be in adapting to any situation and work out a way to overcome. And that really helped me. You know, I just sort of, there was a span through my career for about, I think from, I was in Thailand from, you know, I started at 16, but I was back and forth from 16 to 23. I spent 3.5 years there all up.
Wow.
And going there and not being able to speak Thai, and then just learning through like a little handbook and just speaking with the Thais there and learning to speak, you know, fairly fluently after 3.5 years. It just, again, adaptability. It just became that went with fighting, with the lifestyle that I had, learning to adapt to situations, not being too rigid in how you have to be, you know?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, I know that you're coaching and training and helping out at MMA 24/7 now. What would you say would be 3 to 5 actionable tips you reckon? Say somebody's, you know, looking to get serious into a fighting art, whether it be Muay Thai-Boxing, kickboxing, or anything like that. What would you reckon would be the best advice for them wanting to, you know, take that from their hobby to create it into a lifestyle? What do you think would be some of the biggest things they could do?
So, hobby to lifestyle, we're looking to get a lot more out of our time doing it. Then as a hobby, we're looking to have fun in it. Well, not so much just fun. We can enjoy the art and love what we're doing and still be learning, but it's more on a performance and competitive base once you're going from hobby to sort of career, so to speak. You're looking at it from a performance base and at a competition base. And so it's so important to surround yourself with people that are going to push you, that are going to want to compete with you. That brings out that competitive side in you, whether that's just training partners or coaches or friends or family, or having people around you that are going to push you to be better than you are right now, that are going to push you, having that ability in yourself to look at, you know what, it's so crucial going that I realize now that I used to do it in a different way back through the 90s and 2000s, but right now I feel like, wow, I wish I could have done it back then. Is like, just even the mobile phone video camera, just filming your sessions, filming your pad work, your bag work, your sparring, and going back and analyzing it.
Yeah, perfect.
And then your coach to analyze it. That's one of the biggest keys to improvement, because if you're constantly looking at it, you're going to see something every time. That could have been a little bit. Oh, geez, I could have done that every single time, and there'll be no end. There's no perfection point. Like there is no end point. So it's awesome. There's no limit to how good you could actually get by doing that, and getting people around you, getting the right people to watch it. To give you that constructive criticism to work out what it is you need to change or how to better what you're doing. That'd be one of the keys. And then comparing that to, I did it in a different way. When I was back, I used to just watch endless reels of top fighters, like whoever was the top fighters. I was lucky through Kondo, I got to have Lumpini fight tapes of each show every month, and I'm watching. Oh wow! All of the top Lumpini fighters, and I'd just be sitting there watching for days, like in between training, like these and all the movies, and I'd stop, I'd slow them down. Go watch it again, how they did the move, and I'd be sitting in standing in the lounge room watching it, and sort of moving and trying to practice the movements and the way they shuffle stepped, or the way they sidestepped out, or how do they get that high kick up with such a small step, and I'd be practicing, looking at how they did it. So just mimicking was a huge thing for me back then. So yeah, that'd be things. Fighting, nutrition is like as important as training, as in your health, your mood, your mental awareness, your ability to adapt, like, how healthy you are, how much energy you've got in your body, through your nutrients, through your macros is so important. It's something I took for granted when I was younger. When you're younger, I think you can get away with a lot more. You can sort of eat a little bit slack, and you still have boundless amounts of energy, but as that human growth hormone starts to dissipate as you get older, I think it becomes apparent that you need to, supplement things. So, the right supplementation, getting good vitamins and minerals, magnesiums, and just eating healthy. Processed foods are, obviously are going to slow you down. Simple as that. So as a fighter, you want to stay away from anything that's going to slow you down. Yeah. That'd be so going over the tapes, watching yourself, your nutrition, surrounding yourself with people that are going to bring out that competitive drive in you, that are going to challenge you, whether it's your coach, again, like whether it's your coach or your training partner, or even if you have to go out for a visit to another gym just to work with some other people once a week or once a month, just to bring that out in you, working with people that are better than you. Like the reason I went to Thailand was because everyone's better than you. Like you go to a gym and there's 30 guys in the gym that are better than you, rather than being here and there might be one or two people better than you. I went there and everyone's better than you. And then the goal's like, can I be as good as them? And you're training for a year just to get like in the middle of the pack. And then you're lucky to be there even, So being around people that will challenge you, that's to bring out the competitiveness in you. That's important.
That's
so
great.
There's three crucial things there, I think, that are very important for fighters.
That's great advice, mate. And the Thailand one I've heard from a lot of guys. You're like a little fish in a big pond over there. They're just next level with their training and the techniques they've got over there. So that's pretty true. So Daniel, I'd love to know, obviously, because my show's tailored for people in their career. So what do you think would be the best career advice you've ever received, or what do you think would be the best advice you've ever received about finding your passion and purpose and doing what you love?
And being a fighter, like having a career, now having some great business advice as I'm getting older, but realizing that your career is your business. That is your business. You're not just a fighter and you're not just fighting. Like you as a fighter, and your career is your business, and you need to treat it and it needs to be, if you want to be a successful fighter, it needs to become a brand. It needs to be something that people want to see and can relate to, and that people can that people have access to. Like that's just some basics of real business, of any business that I think fighters should look at, or any business should look at. Their brand is just so important. Their branding and marketing, the way that they brand themselves, what it means to them, what it means to their market, what they're doing. Really looking at what what their brand means and what their market wants to see. Like that's just been a big thing for me over the last few years. Yeah.
That's perfect, mate. So I got a question from one of the people on one of the audience. They wanted to know.
We've got a few questions.
I've already rattled off a few, but one of the ones I got was who was your toughest opponent you ever faced over the years? I know you've faced some of the toughest guys on the planet, but who do you think would be the toughest one that you struggled with?
Without a doubt, out of 106 fights, and I fought maybe, I think 17, 18 world titles. I fought in, different countries for championships in different countries. The hardest fight I ever had was not a non-title fight, and the two hardest fights I've ever had were with the same guy. They had a rematch, and that was Jongsanan Fairtex. And he was nicknamed the Wooden Man. He was nicknamed the Wooden Man. He was the guy that brought Fairtex, the name, they're huge. He was the original one of the best fighters from there. All through the 90s, he was probably a couple of years older than me. Late 90s, he was one of the best Muay Thai fighters in Thailand and around. And then he went to America, and he was fighting out of America. And I got the opportunity to fight him in Hawaii, which was just awesome as well, being in Hawaii.
Wow.
And he was also my hero. So I grew up watching in the mid-90s, watching him having all these world title fights. And I got to fight him, I think 2001, I think it was. Yeah, 2001. And oh man, I just freaked out. I was watching him and I just froze, and I was just watching him beat the crap out of me in the fight because he was my hero. He was like one of the best fighters I've ever seen in Muay Thai, and he was so strong and so scary, like nothing hurt him. He was a wooden man. And just surviving that first fight, and I back in the second round and the fourth and fifth and pushed and made it. I made a good fight in the last two rounds. He won the first three easy and probably won the whole fight really. But I made it come past two, and then rematched him again in Vegas. The first combination fight, he threw like a 10-punch combination and then a downward striking elbow. Hit me on the head, and I've got like a huge scar on my head, like this big still. And they had to staple the scar. When you couldn't sew, it was that big. It was like a huge scar.
That's crazy.
So that elbow just put my head right, blood streaming whole body. My yellow shorts were red. Everything was red. And that was in the first round. And he was out to show me like, don't come and try and rematch me. And then, from that second round, I went at him. I went hard at him, and I feel like I won the last three rounds in that fight. And that two fights were probably two of my biggest highlights and two of the hardest. The most intense, hardest competition I've ever faced. Like he could hit with every part. Like his punches, his elbows were incredibly hard. He took, I was called the Rock because I could take any sort of hit and I'd come back. He was like that. Like it was incredible fighting someone harder than yourself. So, and then someone could hit hard and fast with every single weapon. Like he was good at everything. So he was amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I think
he only had about 330 fights to his name or something. So,
is that all? That's not many. I think that's intimidating in itself. And as you said, I think it's amazing that you've come through it as well, because getting that elbow, a lot of people would start seeing their blood and get really put off. But also the fact that the Thais pick up their pace in the later rounds to be able to battle it out for the later rounds once he's going at full pace. Then that's pretty incredible, man.
Yeah, I remember we had a good joke after the fight. Together we went back, bars and we had a drink, and it was in the fifth round. I really wanted this fight. I was pushing hard, and he was fighting back hard, and I ended up catching him with a nice elbow as well, and
nice.
Split his nose open, and then at the end I got to be Daniel away. He was like, "Have you seen the top of my head? Like, come on, I can't get his nose open."
Even mate,
that's pretty. So we had a good laugh about it after, and it was, and that for me, it was one of the biggest highlights of my career was this sport, this Muay Thai sport. Boxing as well. I did meet a few people boxing, not as many. Muay Thai was a lot more, where you could battle each other to the almost to the death, really. But then at the same time, drop and bow to each other and give each other the utmost respect, love, and admiration for being who you are. For being that competitive, for being that strong and passionate about what you do. Like having that mutual respect, still being able to go and compete, drive the best competition out of each other, that just to me was one of the best sports on the planet, you know?
Oh man, I couldn't agree more. Like, I love everything, like the Ramui and the Wai crew and everything. Just everything about Muay Thai is just amazing. So, but Daniel, I really appreciate your time for coming on the show, mate. I know how busy you are. And as I said, you've been a massive idol of mine growing up and getting into Muay Thai, watching your battles and your fights. And you've been kind of the driving force to get me into my passion of loving Muay Thai. So, and thank you so much for coming on, mate. You're an absolute legend and you're so humble and genuine, mate.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you for having me, Paul. And I hope everyone enjoy it. And really appreciate being on, and all the best in the future. Thank you, Paul.
You too, mate. So just to wrap up, Daniel, where would be the best place to get in contact with you if anyone wanted to reach out to you or anyone wanted to train with you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got my Facebook fan page, Daniel The Rock Dawson. I still manage that myself, so you can send me a message or anything on there, private message. Or otherwise at the gym, MM247 in Rivervale, Belmont Ave. I'm in there teaching mornings and nights. I'm teaching PTs, group classes, Muay Thai classes, boxing there. We train the MMA fighters. Like, you know, I love the stand-up fighting art. And when I work with the MMA fighters, I can adapt and change my stance a little bit and still get the best techniques out of them. And I've, you know, going from fighting now and coaching more, I love what I'm doing and working out with all sports that between rotation, extension, and the shift of the hip weight and all these sort of things I love. I love working with the body and how it moves. So definitely. The kids coming in.
Yeah, my little girl just came in. But it's so true. Daniel, it's
cool, man, cool. Mine's in the lounge room.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate. I've loved you sharing your journey and getting a bit deeper insight into your upbringing and your transition into where you are now. So thank you, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. All the best, man.
You too, mate. Thanks, Daniel. And stay tuned, guys, next week for another incredible episode where we'll be taking your career to the next level with another amazing guest. Stay tuned then.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. As a listener to the Career Breakthrough series, you can claim this amazing discounted bundle price of $197 for all 3 of our amazing career development courses. The courses involved in this package are Mastering a Killer Career Mindset, which is going to help you uncover and remove limiting beliefs that are holding you back in your career. It's also going to help you reframe any negative thought patterns and have you start forging an unstoppable positive growth mindset. The next course we've got is Uncover Your True Career Needs, which is going to help you get crystal clear on what you really want out of your career to ensure maximum fulfillment and satisfaction. It's also going to help you be confident in what makes you unique and stand out in the workforce. As well as this course, included in this bundle, is Unleashing Your Formidable Strengths and Skills. This course is going to help you to uncover and utilize your amazing strengths and skills and teach you how to use these to position yourself as a standout candidate or employee. It's also going to enhance your strength to capitalize on career opportunities and remove any threats and surpass any weaknesses to fast track your career success. So guys, take advantage of this amazing offer. As I said, it's for the listener to this show only. It's a $94 saving. So if you head to the link above, which is bit.ly/career bundle 1, CAREERBUNDLE and the number 1. So just again, guys, it was bit.ly/CAREERBUNDLE1. Guys, be sure to jump on this. It's an amazing opportunity that's really going to help you fast track your career success and get into a career you truly love. Thank you again for tuning in. I can't wait to share another incredible episode with you next week, so stay tuned then. Thanks a lot.